What's up, guys? Happy with Cage, episode 220. Give you 5 minutes of thoughts today after a full day at Fanatics Fest, day one. Let me tell you, um, Ian passed out. Sponsored by Arena Club, Bleecker Trading. Bleecker Trading was there. Great table. If you guys are going, right by the Tops booth, they're right by the main stage there. A really good table, great location. Arena Club, I saw some of their guys, walking around buying. They got the Arena Club suitcases and stuff. So anyway, quick couple of initial reactions just for folks who aren't there. Hopefully you can make it. I'll be there Saturday and Sunday. I said, we were going to give Ian Friday and figure out what we're going to do for the rest of the weekend. He had fun. Although when we were driving home, he did say that he liked the first day last year better than the first day this year. Interesting. Um, there's a soccer field that he spent some time on last year that we did not spend some time on this time. Um, and I think it's in a different spot. So it's in a little more crowded spot than it was last year. And I think maybe that was part of it. But towards the end, we really got, like going to a theme park at the end of the day before it closes and you kind of run around and do some stuff. He was able to run the 40 a bunch of times, able to do some stuff. He had a blast. Wants to go back, already passed out. Wants to go back first thing in the morning and you name it. So obviously fun. He had a blast. We couldn't find the Slurpee truck for 7-Eleven. That was that if that's not there anymore. I know they got Raising Canes, but if there's no Slurpee truck, that's no bueno. Some interesting stuff, right? I was not there Saturday last year. Last year we went Friday and Sunday, so I'm excited to see about tomorrow, and I'll come and tell you guys about it. But I think it's gonna be packed. I mean, I think it's just gonna be all out packed. A lot of great content coming out of there today. A lot of great things going on there today, from Travis Scott to THWC to Livy Dunn to Tom Brady to just a million people. I mean, at one point I was walking down the card aisle and I turned pretty quickly and my foot banged into another shoe. I was looking down and the guy's foot was about the same size as mine, which doesn't happen that often. I wear a size 14, and I looked up and it was Cam Jordan, and I'm like, sorry, sorry, Cam Jordan, didn't mean to step on your shoe. So you got some of that going on there, which was pretty fun. Yeah, just a fun day. The card guys, it was great seeing a lot of people, but I'll tell you, even this, it's not national big, but it is big. I came home, looked at my phone, looked at some content, saw, Rodman, saw John, the basketball card guy, saw a bunch of people that I did not see there, card collector too, like I was all around. I was up and down. I was at the card show. I was online, for Travis Scott stuff, which we'll talk about in a second. And it's still big. So I want to go back and see some people. People I did see, that was awesome. It's great to catch up with people, talk cards, talk about the current state of the hobby. One of the cool things, again, just like they did last year, Travis Scott boxes. It was randomized. You had to put in like a lottery system, the EQL that they did. And I was told, unlike last year, that the dealers were not allowed to buy them. They weren't entered into it. Like you had to have a ticket number. I don't know how much they really police that, to be honest. But that was what I was told. I didn't see a lot of dealers with the boxes last year. But why that's cool is you want to talk about injecting cash liquidity right into the space. Anybody who got that box paid 5 and change for it. With tax and fees, let's call it 565. David Adams had a sign right next to where you were buying it. They were paying $1,000. There are people paying 1,100, 1,150. So, think about that for a second. If you got that box and you just immediately walked over to David Adams, you were doubling your money. You got $500 to spend. It paid for your, pay for your ticket. It pays for buying some boxes or maybe buying a card from somebody. And think about that. Think about how, just that product drop there. It adds some liquidity. They're doing a product drop each day also. So tomorrow, I think, is the Series 2 tops, and I think the next day, Sunday, is the F1 box. So it's going to be fun to kind of see that liquidity kind of pumped into the room and, see people opening stuff and, spending their money. Ian and I opened a couple boxes of football cards we bought from David Adams on the way home. That was fun. Nothing crazy, nothing expensive. But yeah, I mean, what I will say, just like the National, you can't do it all in one day. I didn't do the card museum. I don't even know where it was. I have to find it. There was a lot of stuff that we didn't do. There's a lot of stuff we did. I posted a little video on my page. You can take a look at it of just kind of Ian, doing his thing, going on, an F1 car simulator. He had me do it. I crashed into the wall like 50 times. It was really horrible. I'm kind of embarrassed, but he was good at it. He had me playing tennis, you know, Red Bull or something like that. It was called. So that was fun. Um, we ran the 40, playing soccer, just all the sport activation. John Boy Media was, he had a wiffle ball set up and, MVPs, kicking soccer ball. I mean, just so much stuff, so much that I'm sure we missed that, we'll try to see tomorrow. And, you know, it's a good thing. Overwhelmingly, what I heard from card people was look around. Like, how could it be bad? Right? Yeah, we might not convert all these people. Hell, we might not even convert half of them. But if you convert 10% of them, if the crazy wrestling people walk over to the cards, which were a little more interspersed. Yeah, they had their own section, but they kind of encroached a little more into the main entrance area, which is better than they had last year. You know, I don't like talking about 10xing the hobby, in that phrase, but I mean, there's a lot of money that went into this. There's a lot of, celebrity power that was there. Um, and I'm not a huge Travis Scott fan or anything like that, but man, when he comes out, everybody goes nuts. The cameras are rolling, people are screaming, got people standing there with CDs, people standing there with, with vinyl and shirts of his, and it's I don't know exactly what he has to do with sports cards or anything like that. But people seem to love it. I got to tell you. And Fanatics is bringing a lot of that stuff. They bring it to the event, and I guess I'm thankful and lucky that it's kind of in my backyard, easy to get to and easy to go all 3 days. Because my kid's having fun. I don't know how much longer he's going to want to do this kind of stuff, but while he does, I'm going to keep doing it. And I'll come back tomorrow, 5 minutes to 7 minutes, to tell you what I think about day 2. Talk to you soon, guys. And if you're going to be there, send me a message. Let's chat. Take care.